What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to give you a good delivery update on what we might be able to expect coming from our Q3 earnings. And outside of that, CPI is coming this week. So I want to give you a good breakdown of what to expect coming from that, in addition to my price prediction. Before I get into any of that though, making sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe is always greatly appreciated. With that, let's get right to it. So hopefully everyone is having an amazing weekend. This week is going to be a wild ride. But in general though, some optimism is coming from our actual delivery numbers. And so there was this picture that was posted by Let's Go Lucid, where ultimately it does show on the windshield 4,855. So obviously people are jumping to conclusions, insinuating that is the car number, which could be true at this stage. But if we're factoring everything in, given how many vehicles we've delivered in Q1 and Q2, that would roughly put us around the 3,800 range. In my last update video, I did put us around the 32 to 3,300 range, but still, if it is around the 38, definitely very beneficial and exciting for us as investors, and technically something to look forward to for Q4. Let's Go Lucid did purchase a Lucid, and it does look like he is number 5,779. So, and he did get his VIN, so that most likely is what we're going to be expecting. So hopefully very, very close to that 6,000, if not already going to be exceeding that. So this is what we can expect for Q4, at least vaguely. So let me know your thoughts on that. That definitely is a good piece of news, hopefully, for a lot of investors. But unfortunately, one negative aspect of now where we are at in the economy is CPI. So CPI is coming out on Thursday, October the 13th. So in general, though, this is where a lot of people are starting to look at the month over month. So in comparison, it's actually the forecast is for it to go up. So that's something that a lot of investors need to really factor into the grand scheme of things. In the end, though, on a year over year basis, it's expected to go down. But like I said, as of late, a lot of people are just looking at the month over month. So it is expected to be going up 0.2%. So as far as the breakdown, this is the actual chart right now. We have been expecting basically since this point right here for it to be starting to curve down. Unfortunately, as you can see, it's been kind of maintaining itself, and especially if this is a continuation of that, then most likely it'll be more so stagnant. But still, the market is going to take that very, very negatively, and unfortunately enough so that this might be prompting to a very, very big recession. This is where a lot of people are starting to project and kind of interpret what might be coming, especially more so the feds do not seem to necessarily care about that. Their first and only priority is to subside inflation. So that's something you really need to factor in, and just breaking it down a little bit further, because it's one thing just looking at the numbers and just assuming based on that, but you have to look at the exact numbers on everything. And unfortunately, what prompted a lot of this was the energy. So you can see energy in February and March going up, and this is the broader basket right here. So it's going up, and ever since then it's basically been stagnant, and then as of July numbers it's just been going down. But our actual overall numbers, despite energy going down 4.6 and 5%, it's been flat. So that goes to show that the other basket items are going up. So this is where a lot of people are taking the CPI data initially as a very big negative. So let me know your thoughts on that. Hopefully, in my opinion at least, it might be going down a little bit lower than forecast, but still relatively high. So this is where it's going to be grouping into my price prediction and all that fun stuff. But unfortunately, Lucid is in a little bit more of an interesting scenario. So even if we do hypothetically hit our delivery numbers and have amazing Q3 earnings, that should prompt us to go up in theory, especially more so with what Rivian just recently came out with as far as their delivery numbers. But that's beside the point. It's going to be CPI, and then technically the Fed's making their interest rate decision. That in reality is what the market necessarily cares about. So even with positive news that Lucid's been coming out about delivery numbers, them finally ramping up, which is a very exciting thing, it just comes down to the numbers and ultimately CPI. It really sucks as far as an investor, because you do have a very good company that's really starting to ramp up, has amazing technology and a lot of opportunity. Just right now, the broader market just sucks, plain and simple. And in general, though, we are also going to be starting to have a lot more 13Fs coming down the pipeline as far as catalysts, possible catalysts, I should say. So in general, since my last update, there hasn't been anything really substantial. You can see some have increased their position, 27%, 1,037%, 116%. So I do anticipate, especially on how much Lucid went down, I anticipate a lot more institutions of increase their position. predictions. So that might be a very positive thing going forward. But when it comes down to it, people sometimes just don't care. Some people don't really want to look into CPI too much or even delivery numbers. They just want Lucid to plain and simple go up. So as far as the price prediction, so we had a little bit more of a sell-off on Friday. I'm sure you guys are already aware of that. $8.61. I did average down in a brand new account on this, so I bought in at $13.30. So I got very, very lucky. I saw this price point and extremely happy, but we did break below that resistance point of $13.25. So when it comes to it though, we are on the outside percentile of the Bollinger Band, plain and simple. In general, what is this all telling us? So stochastic right now is still very oversold at 30, but we do have that deviation, red line above the black, showing a little bit more of a bear sentiment is starting to form. Momentum, you can tell a number of retail investors have just got the hell out and they're just taking a break. There's a lot of articles coming out now saying it's advantageous to have money in cash despite higher inflation. So definitely deterring people from investing. So I think that is a little bit more backward, but I could be wrong. Like I said, on the actual chart, and I've been giving updates, we bounced off that strong resistance and are trending down. So in reality, I'm going to give you two different price predictions, one of which is fairly positive CPI data, one is very negative. So if for any reason we are actually negative and more so higher than the forecast, then anticipate easily around the 1150 range this week. And definitely that could be very, very true, because if CPI is bad, then technically the broader market is just going to go in full on panic mode. And even technically in Lucid's case though, we have another fear, another kind of entity that's trying to bring us down, and that is shorts. So in reality, over this whole time period right here, a lot of shorts closed out the positions in a lot of growth stocks, not necessarily Lucid. We still have roughly about 24% short interest. Like, the shorts are really sticking around with us, and it definitely does suck. So I see them as a little bit more vultures that are just swinging or flying around waiting for Lucid to fail or just to pounce, and their opportunity to pounce is going to be on that CPI. So I gave you my price prediction on if CPI is bad. If CPI is actually positive, so what I mean by positive is obviously a negative. So when it comes to this, either maybe negative 0.01 or something along those lines, showing a decrease overall. If that is the case, then I do anticipate us kind of getting to around the $14 range in reality. So that's where I'm kind of placing us. So let me know your thoughts on that. Let me know how your weekend is going. If you've been really worried about Lucid, if you're thinking about it, let me know where you're at with Lucid. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up and subscribe, is always greatly appreciated. If you do like my channel, want to support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that, appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.